Hey, Rjon. Rjon. Hey, turn off the radio.
What?
So, we're here in the car, and we're driving back from seeing JR90, and we already shot 2 videos where you were talking about the recession and about the concept of not proving your law firm for the recession, and about hiring people, and like, okay, we're here, like, you have nowhere to go. You always complain about those videos and those emails inviting you to teleseminars that are all the hype and stuff, and when you get there, they don't really give you a lot of content. So I wanted to give all your lawyers content. So tell me about hiring people in this time of recession. Like, truly tell us.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the deal. Right now, there's all these CLE courses, and everyone's selling these programs on how to, quote unquote, recession-proof your practice. But that's really the wrong attitude to take, because all of those programs, they're all about showing you how to cut costs, and they're all about showing you how to basically do foreclosure defense and build a bankruptcy practice, and all that's really good. That's fine. It's all good to save money in a law firm, but it's a lot easier to make a lot more money. It's a lot easier to make $1 than to save $1 in a law firm. That's number one. So any kind of recession proofing that you're doing by spending a lot of time cutting costs is really not the best use of your time. It's not the highest and best use of a lawyer's time, the owner of a law firm's time, to be trying to figure out how to save $1 in a law firm. If you have a legal administrator, great, that's what he or she can be doing. But if you're the owner of your own law firm and you don't have a legal administrator, saving money, saving $1 here, saving $1 there, it's really not smart business. That's number one. Number 2, launching a brand new practice is, it's not really, it's in most cases, I would say in 8 out of 10 cases, that's not really a smart, strategic, practical thing to do. Because, learning how to open and run a foreclosure defense practice, or learning how to run a bankruptcy practice, if you have not already run that kind of business, it's kind of like saying that, well, I owned a grocery store, so I might as well run a restaurant. They're very different kinds of businesses. The fundamentals of running a law firm are all the same. If you know how to run a law firm, if you know how to run the business of a law firm, you can run any kind of law firm. But unless you are already running your law firm based on documented systems and documented procedures, and unless you've read and digested and implemented the E-Myth Revisited, jumping from one practice area to another is just because you think there's a buck to chase is a mistake. And I've taught.
The E-Myth is the book.
Yeah. Michael Gerber, best book, one of my favorites. Until you've E-Mythified your law firm, you should not be jumping into another practice area just to chase a buck. I have talked so many lawyers out of opening a bankruptcy practice, talked them out of opening a real estate practice, talked them out of opening a family law practice.
Well, if they don't know the basics, or they are doing the basics wrong, they're gonna do it wrong in all of the practices. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. But the point I want to make is, I've talked a lot of lawyers into those same exact practice areas also, because if you go into a practice area just because you're trying to make a buck, you're not going to do very well. Unless you really have a passion for that kind of work, just chasing a buck is going to blow up in your face. It's not going to work for you. It's going to be disappointing. What else did you want to know about?
About hiring people, like in this time of recession. That's what I was very curious about.
Now, first of all, now is like a great time to be hiring fantastic staff. I mean, there's so much talent out there who are being laid off by law firms that are not properly managed, and so they're losing their most valuable assets. But a lot of lawyers, especially in small law firms, especially solo practitioners, they're afraid to hire staff because they don't really have. No one's ever taught them how to hire staff. I mean, they don't teach us that in law school. I mean, look at us today. We're driving a rental car. You know, we're not driving our car because, Mary was thinking about getting we're driving what is this? This is a Chevrolet HHR, which is kind of a cool car, and she was thinking about getting one. So as long as we were going to rent a car, we decided to rent one of these just so we could tell her, hey, we drove it 1,000 miles round trip. This is what we think. Hiring a $40,000 assistant or a $70,000 office manager or paralegal or something like that, that's a scary number when you look at it as, $48,000. But you can't think of it like $48,000. You have to think of it like renting, right? So $48,000 is really only $4,000 a month. And it's really not even $4,000 a month. It's really only $2,000 every 2 weeks. So if you hire someone if you hire someone the right way, which means you have a documented job description, you've got documented procedures, documented internal policies for your staff, and you hire them with a strategic plan for how you're going to test them and like take them for an extended test drive, like we're doing with this rental car. In 2 weeks, if they're any good. It's not hard to figure out if they're going to do the job right, if they're going to pay for themselves. It doesn't take a year. You don't have to blow $48,000, $50,000 on someone to find out if they're going to be profitable for you or not. In a week or two, $2,000. If you can risk $2,000, you can test someone out to find out if they're going to be good for you or not. And at $48,000, you're really only talking about risking $4,000 to begin to make a profit on them. Because if they're not starting to turn a profit on for you, if you're not starting to get a positive ROI in a month, chances are either you have the wrong person or you don't have a really sound procedure in place for managing your staff. And there's lots of things we can do to teach you how to get those policies and those procedures in place for your staff. I don't know. Does that answer your question?
No. And why now? Like, why in this time of recession?
Oh, because you can get someone who used to make $75,000 who's probably worth $75,000. And by worth $75,000, what I mean is they can help you make an extra, $40,000, $50,000 of profit. You can get that person right now for $50,000.
Oh, because everybody's being laid off.
Right, because there's all these law firms that are laying people off because those law firms, they don't know how to market, they don't know how to manage, and so they're laying off their greatest assets. They're like taking their best assets and putting them out in the street waiting for you. I mean, how many great people have we hired for different projects, for members and things, just off of Elance?
Yeah, and they're awesome.
Elance and Odesk, and where else did we go to?
Those are the two main.
Craigslist.
In Craigslist,
We're getting great people right now for bargains, and you can try them out with a project. And if you've got documented systems and documented procedures and a strategic plan, that's the key. Is you got to have a plan when you hire someone to figure out if they're going to work out or not. You can't just here's money, do this vaguely described job. I mean, that's not going to work.
Well, and also they should think about how the person is going to help them make more money to pay for themselves.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. That's part of the strategy when you hire the person is to have a plan in place to make sure that A, you like working with them, B, they know what they're doing, C, they can follow your instructions because you have a set of tasks like test driving them. So you've got practice exercises for them to do that go from, the top of the ship down to the water line. You don't give them mission critical tasks to do in the first month that they're there. I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that answers my question.
All right, turn off the camera because I'm tired.
Okay.
Sign up for the newsletter.
Bye.